think we are live again. Let me see. Alright, cool. We are live again. Not that anyone's here at the moment. Let's see. Alright, so let's get back to Tiny Bunny. Alright, so... Darkness creeped along the windows, and it felt like the school was drifting in open space like a lonely lost spaceship. After going up to the second floor, I noticed a crowd around the notice board. Let's see. Oh, shit, I didn't mean to do that. I turned down the music because my last stream got copyrighted. Not that it really matters because I don't make money yet, so... Okay, after going to the second floor, I noticed a crowd around the notice board. Everyone was taking part in a lively discussion. There's Vova. I moved closer and took a look at something everyone was interested in through a wall of backpacks. There was a piece of paper with something printed on it glued to the left of the notice board. Oh. Is there anything else I can think of? Okay. Bova Matukin? I doubt I'm saying that right. 10 years old, grade 4, left his home on January the 5th around 4 o'clock and never returned. Was last seen at the bridge over the Smoradina River. He was wearing an orange coat with a hood, a black wool cap, a scarf, and mittens with green stripes. Might have had a plastic toy gun on him. Let's see, 142 centimeters, skinny, brown hair, green eyes. On that grainy print of Vova looked dead with a black mouth and dark empty eye sockets. So that's just the shitty printer. Could that be the darknet? Could it be that the darkness dwelling deep in the forest invaded his pores and mutilated his face? Could be, but I doubt that's what this is showing. A plastic toy gun couldn't protect him from the whispering branches and the howling wind. Empty eyes of the lost boy pierced through my soul as if pleading. Unable to meet a stare, I turned around and rushed to the window. Took a seat on the windowsill. The corridor was slowly filling up with children, in groups of few. Nobody paid me any mind. In the darkness of the school toilets, child voices were hammering a nursery rhyme. For the fox and for the bear, bunny, tasty meals prepare. Okay. I'll let them sing it. I turned my head towards them, trying to get a better look at their features, but then my attention was stolen by a loud clicking sound. A female teacher marched down the corridor with her chin raised up high. Her heels were hitting the floor like miniature hooves. A girl was trailing her every step. She was also looking pompous, stopping along the way and whispering some secret in her friend's ear. She's probably a class rep since she was carrying an attendance register book. These are two very different art styles. They're both very nice. It just, she looks like she's from an anime, and this looks like it's more realism.
Екатерина, возьми, пожалуйста.
Okay. Ekaterina. I don't know how to say that. Like, I can sound it out, but it's not going to be right. Take this, please. The teacher opened the classroom door, and the crowd of children swarmed in, screaming and pushing. Ew. Out of all of them, a tall, red-headed, fat boy caught my attention. His face was full of blisters. He looked like the inside of a pomegranate. A bad feeling risen up on the hair on the back of my head. I've seen boys like him before, unsettled eyes, cackling laughter. The girl who was a smaller copy of the teacher warned the boy with a wave of her hand and entered the room through the clearing crowd. Some other guy stood in the way of the crowd, and the redhead immediately shoved him.
Топай резче, мудила!
The boy flew head first, flailing his hands trying to keep his balance. Ew, your fucking teeth. Get a toothbrush, damn. The fatso burst out laughing, and a couple of kids joined his nasty cackling. Their laughter sounded like someone was snipping with huge garden scissors. The classroom sucked all of the kids in. The corridor stood empty. I wanted to grow roots and stay on the windowsill. Just a handful of lampposts outside were battling the darkness, writhing like fluorescent fish in the black ocean. Maybe we can still run away. Go outside, dissolve in the dark. I imagine myself running through the snow, how it squeaks under my boots, and how I'll become lighter and lighter with every step. So is the forest or whatever's in the forest kind of drawing him in, because that's the first time he, like, thought about the forest in a non-negative way. The ringer's trill blew that illusion away. I tore myself from the window with great effort. Then I took a couple of deep breaths, trying to at least calm down my bad pulse. Sorry. And entered the classroom. The prim teacher looked at me over the frame of her glasses, clearly annoyed. I'm the transfer student.
Мне вот сказали к вам подойти.
I was told to come here. The snowy forest trail was winding in front of my eyes. The pines rustled, but it didn't sound predatory anymore. She buried herself in the register and flicked through the pages.
А фамилия-то как?
Your last name?
Петров.
Громче говори.
What are you mumbling?
Чего мямлишь?
Say it clearly.
Петров.
Нет такого.
She measured me with a long, heavy stare as if trying to see if I was lying. I wanted to sink through the floor. Hazy faces observed all of that from the left. The classroom breathed and snorted in unison like a living organism, like a dangerous beast. These kids are shitheads. Like, I don't get what's funny about all of this.
Ты не ошибся?
Are you sure?
Нет такого в
I
списке.
don't have you in my register. My knees chose the worst time to start shaking, and I felt dizzy. I clutched my fist so hard, my knuckles became white.
Мне сказали, 204 кабинет, Лилия Павловна, 6 В.
They told me to come to the classroom 204 to ask for Lilia Pavlovna, class 6C. Apparently everyone in the classroom took my words for some sort of joke because they were all laughing.
Что за бардак?
What's wrong with this school? Oh, the classroom fell silent. All the kids hid their smirks for a better occasion.
Понаберут студентов.
Why do we hire
Только
so many
знают, что
interns?
губяки свои малевать. А я разгребай, значит.
They'll know how to put lipstick all over their bulging lips. When it comes to real problems, I have to solve everything.
А бумаги-то кто заполнять будет? Не первый раз ведь уже.
How did they send you here without any proper paperwork? We've had this same thing happen so many
Подожди
times already.
здесь. Сейчас.
Wait here, I'll be back.
Сейчас я им устрою.
After I have a little chat with them. It's not my fucking fault. The teacher flew past me, mumbling something to herself in righteous anger, and I was left standing in the center of the classroom. Like a convict in front of a firing squad, I lowered my gaze, feeling the mocking stares of all of the classroom directed at me. Listen, I know kids are shit, and, like, they'll find any reason to bully someone, but I can't imagine why they would laugh at this. They prickled my skin, danced on it like laser lights, or laser sights. Once again, I imagined running far away from this place, fighting the clawing winds, soaring high above the pines in one long jump. With the wind in my back as my only companion. The eyes of my future classmates were asking this new boy, is he one of us or an outsider? Somebody whispered something and stifled laughter rolled through the classroom.
Доску вытри!
Wipe the board. It was easy to guess who was the main prankster here.
Эй, очкарик!
Ew, fucking gross. Hey, Four
Ты
Eyes.
чё, не только
Are
слепой,
you
но
not
еще и
only blind, but also
глухой?
deaf?
Доску вытри, говорю!
My knees weren't the only part shaking anymore. I was trembling from head to toe, and I prayed for the teacher to come back sooner. My prayers were answered by the powers that be.
Ну что мне с тобой делать-то?
And what should I do with you now? How is that my problem?
Куда сажать, а?
Where will you sit? Oh, well, you can sit with Simon, I guess.
Он все равно один.
He's alone
Еще
anyway.
чего?
Great. The fatso put his backpack on the seat behind him, and Defiant scratched his belly and smirked.
Ты опять за старое?
Are you back to your
Снова
old
бабушку в
trick? Should I
школу
call your
вызывать?
grandma here again? The classroom went silent. Ooh, she's gonna call grandma.
А чё она мне сделает?
What's she gonna do?
Не она, так я тебе
I'll be the
сделаю.
one to do something if she
Рюкзак
doesn't.
убрал быстро.
Put away your backpack now. He didn't move a muscle. He started studying the portraits of writers on the wall, looking bored. I need to do something to resolve this somehow to save myself. I cleared my throat and continued in a stifled voice that sounded nothing like
Я
it.
могу за последнюю парту сесть.
I can sit in the last
Там,
row.
кажется,
I
свободно.
think there's a free seat. Teacher snorted loudly. She looked at me and then Simon, then back to me.
Ладно. Садись. А с тобой,
Let's
Бабурин,
clear now.
мы еще поговорим.
And you... Oh, maybe that's his last name. I'll have a talk with
Чтобы
him
подошел
later.
после уроков.
Come to me
Будешь
after
по
class.
классу
You'll
дежурить,
be on
ясно?
cleaning duty, got it? Simon forced out a twisted smile. Juicy pimples were growing on the tip of his nose, ripe for the taking. Ew. I walked carefully, afraid to stumble and fall, causing another outburst of laughter from everyone. I took my seat back at the last table, where I was met with a pile of old posters. The outcasts took their seats, and the class was ready to start.
Вот и хорошо. Начнем урок.
Now that this is settled, let's start
Тема.
the class.
Традиции русской и мировой литературы в рассказе Зощенко «Не надо врать».
Zashenko's Don't Lie. Turn the fuck around, dude. The fatso turned back to me. His stare informed me of the coming days, weeks, and months of bullying. Shut the... I've got my eyes on you, his watery look said. It's gonna be fucking watery look when I push you down a fucking well. After just a couple of periods, I already noticed a huge yellow spit stain in my notebook. Ew! Then at the cafeteria, the Simon accidentally spilled a glass of compote on me. What is that? A dessert drink brewed from a mix of dry fruits and berries. And then he flailed his hands around after exiting the toilet so that some of the liquid from his hands would get on me. Ew! Just before the final period for the day, Simon pushed me into a buzzing crowd of girls from our class. Of course. Why? They made way cursing, but I couldn't hold my balance and end up ramming my face into the girl I took for the class rep before, right into her chest. Very anime of you. I immediately stepped back, dying from
Прости, ты в
embarrassment.
порядке?
I'm sorry, are you alright? Then she suddenly put her hands on her hips. Those are not her hips.
Нет, ну вы посмотрите,
Will you look at
облапал
him
меня прямо у
groping me in
всех
front
на
of everyone?
глазах.
Oh, shut
Я
the
сейчас
fuck up.
все маме
I'll tell
расскажу.
my mom.
Тебя из школы
Don't
выгонят,
spell, you
извращенец.
pervert.
Я нечаянно, меня
I didn't mean to,
толкнули.
he pushed me.
Все
We
видели.
all saw
Слепых
you, you
среди
know.
нас нет.
No blind among us. Stared at my glasses while showing me a creepy smile. I started to fume on the inside, but Simon's laughter cooled my head.
Толкнули?
I pushed
Чё,
you, sure?
прав?
He swaggered up to me, enveloping me in the smell of sunflower seeds and rotting teeth, and pushed me to the floor. Gross.
Вот так, да?
Like this, huh? What you gonna do now? The bully towered over me as if saying, "Come on, hit me. Let me see you try." Fuck. I don't know if this is... I don't know how schools in Russia are. I don't know if, like, if I fight back, we're probably both gonna get in trouble. If I just take it, is it still one of those situations where I would still get in trouble, or would they make it so I get in trouble? I don't fucking know. And does this have consequences on the later game? If I, like, fight back, is it gonna, like, make me more insane later? If anyone's actually watching, you pick. I don't know what to pick. It says one viewer, but I feel like that could be me on the other monitor. I'll do what's
Слушай,
interesting.
ты...
Listen, you. My throat went dry, my lips were moving on their own, and my voice was akin to a stifled squeal. Ew! Brush your fucking teeth. Simon wore a mocking smile.
Давай, давай,
Go on,
продолжи,
Four Eyes. Why
примолвка.
did you stop?
Нам
We're all
если
waiting.
еще хоть раз
You
меня
ever touch me
тронешь...
again? Simon slowly stuck out a finger and poked my forehead.
Натронул и чё?
I did, so what?
Еще хоть раз
If you ever do it again. Okay.
тронул. А вот еще. И еще. И еще. И еще.
Can you just beat the shit out of him already? He was poking me with his finger so hard that my head tilted backwards. I must not cry, or I'll be done for.
Чё ты мне сделаешь,
What will
мямля?
live like you do to me? My vision went blurry. My soles tore off from the floor. I rushed forward and threw a random punch without looking. Oh no, you're gonna punch the teacher or something, aren't you? Oh, okay, cool. What I saw when I opened my eyes was beautiful and horrifying at the same time. Simon was holding his ear and blinking in amazement. Was I the first person to rebel against his absolute rule? Oh, fuck. But I needed to run. I needed to run, but I was already surrounded by his cronies.
Лилия Павловна! Лилия Павловна! Петров Бабурина ударил!
Oh, so she snitched. Simon's cheeks grew even redder and redder, and his pimples even whiter, like the heads of larvae. Ew. But a smile flashed on his face that was only noticed among his comrades. He got really close to me. The smell of rotten teeth washed over.
Тебе
You
пиздец.
are fucking done. His voice was evil and dangerous, like someone tore off the lid from a kettle with boiling fat. I was waiting to get hit, counting the thumps in my heart and guessing where his fist will go. Solar plexus, the jaw, the nose. But he just turned around and walked off. A thought cold and sober and extremely rational popped in my head. I'm going to get killed today. I was late to leave school after classes on purpose. Simon didn't attend the last period, so I was hopeful. What if he decided to dodge the cleaning duty and ran home, forgetting all about me? I heaved a sigh of relief like someone on death row whose execution was delayed a day. But I didn't let myself forget his tone, his vengeful gaze, and his scary, electrified smirk. While the other students were leaving the school laughing loudly, I was pretending to skim through my books near a window. I was staring outside, nervous. Simon was nowhere to be found in the front yard or near the school gate. I didn't really believe I was this lucky, so I decided to be extra cautious and stayed for some more time in the corridor that was gradually getting less crowded. All of the bus will move to the first floor. There was a skeleton peeking out of the biology room. Some jokester put a cap with the American condor on its head. American condor. The sound of running water was coming from the bathroom. I was the only person left in the whole school. I'm not alone, a sudden thought came to mind. I remembered the missing boy's portrait on the notice board near the schedule. Is this picture, like, changed? This looks more sinister than before. I remember to smile him looking at me, and the fact that he's most likely already dead. Hello? I shuddered and turned around. At first my eyes stumbled upon the black violin case, and I noticed a girl from my class was holding it. She sat in the first row of the second column. I could swear I caught her looking at me a couple of times. And I was sneaking glances myself. Sometimes it just feels nice to look at something pretty. The spring, the sky, or a girl that's not in the crowd or a girl that's not in the crowd that's laughing at Simon's jokes. And she wasn't whispering the dirty laundry of other people to Katya. She spent all of the breaks just like me, staying in the classroom or looking in the window or drawing something in her green notebook.
Здравствуй.
Hello. I turned red and pretended I was studying the pattern on the wooden floor.
Круто ты ему врезал.
It was cool the way you hit him. Oh, I don't like your face there.
Это вышло случайно.
It was just an accident.
Почти.
Almost. I started shoving my books into my bag to at least put something in my hands.
Вроде Семен раньше таким не
Simon
был.
wasn't like that before.
Он к нам недавно
He also
перевелся.
transferred here just recently.
Бабушка мне его
His
по
grandma
секрету
told me
сказала, что он
that it
словно
almost felt like
взбесился.
he went mad.
Семена даже
Even the
старшеклассники
upperclassmen fear
побаиваются.
Simon. Did you know?
Представляешь? А ты вот молодец.
But you're different.
Не струсил.
You're brave. I mumbled a reply. Yeah, right. Me, brave. A hero that has been standing around the hallway to avoid a beating. The girl looked at me with her clear, attentive eyes.
А ты за рекой живешь?
Do you live over the river?
В том деревянном
wooden
доме?
house?
Ну да.
Yeah.
Там, наверное, страшно.
scary living
Да
there.
еще через лес
And
идти.
you also have to cross the forest.
Я бы так не
I wouldn't be
смогла.
able to do that. I shivered at the mention of the forest. I thought of the intertwining branches like a snake-like trail, the endless darkness that spread like mold among the crooked trees. So I straight up lied.
Да не так уж там и
It's
страшно.
not that scary.
А что тебя так
What's
пугает?
so scary about it for you? She smiled after a brief pause, as if brushing off a
Да
daydream.
так.
Well,
Ничего.
actually, never mind. Are you the fox lady?
Меня, кстати, Полина зовут.
My name is Polina, by the way.
А меня Антон.
Ну, это я знаю.
That-
Слушай, Антон,
She stumbled as if trying to decide whether she should continue.
а что ты делаешь
What are you
после
doing
школы?
after school? My chest felt prickly after her innocent question, yet it felt somehow pleasant.
Ничего такого.
Nothing much. I stumbled and didn't finish my sentence. Why did it get dark? What the fuck? I knew it! Alyssa's predatory smile flashed in front of my eyes. Her playful eyes and the slits in the mask were probably just a product of my imagination, though. What if that fox girl is waiting for me after school? Oh, okay. Or was it just another one of her weird jokes? I wonder if she's hiding a big red tail under her coat. I suddenly got covered with beads of sweat, like after a PE class. I wanted to take a shower, as if just thinking of the foxy girl made me dirty, soiled my clothes, lured me into the forest's embrace. Ew.
У меня сейчас занятие, скрипка.
I have a
А
violin
потом я
lesson, and
свободна.
then I'll be free.
Дедушка мне
My
репетитора
grandpa
нанял.
hired me a private tutor.
Наш учитель
Our
музыки.
music teacher
Он
is
же
a
скрипач.
violinist, and he doesn't have
А
anyone to
здесь,
teach
в
her except for
поселке,
me. She waved her free hand in the air, imitating the movement of a bow on violin strings. I could almost hear the music. It chased Alyssa out of my head. I looked at Paulina's lips, catching every word, and was frozen from the unusual sensations. They were warm, soothing, and tingly. I felt like I was very small and the feelings were immense and they couldn't fit inside
Тут
me.
говорят, что у нас в поселке маньяк завелся.
Okay, wow. They say there's a serial killer loose in the village.
Раньше со школы
Normally,
меня
Grandpa
всегда
would escort
дедушка
me home from
забирал,
school, but
но
he's been
впоследствии...
sick lately. I snuck a glance at Vova's photo. This has got to be getting creepier every time I fucking look at it. His eyeballs were studying me. His lips were wearing black lipstick. It looks different, doesn't it? Or am I just fucking crazy? I'm gonna have to, like, go back and replay this. Just like the portrait on the gravestone.
Ты не подумай, я не
I mean,
трусишка,
I'm not a
просто...
coward, it's just...
Просто мне кажется, что с
think
тобой
it'll-
будет
I think
безопаснее.
I'll be safer together with you.
Антон,
Will you go home
Ты
with me,
сможешь-
Anton? Finally, everything that I read about in the adventure books, everything that I dreamt about was seeping into my life. A mysterious crime, a beautiful stranger, and a heroic duel. A duel. I don't like that sound. Thinking of Simon instantly sobered me up and returned me back to earth, and it started shaking under my feet like the deck of a ship. If only I could rise to the occasion in front of Polina. Because no matter how brave I was trying to act, it was obvious for both of us that I wouldn't be able to stand a chance against a big guy like that. And him knocking me out won't even be the worst of it. The worst part is that Polina will see all of it. And she'll laugh at me like everybody else. No, I don't need anyone to see me in such a shameful
Сегодня
state.
вряд ли получится.
I doubt I'll be able to today.
Ты же знаешь, Семен, скорее всего, караулит на
Simon is
школьном
waiting
дворе.
for me
Лучше мне с
outside.
ним
I
разобраться
need to deal
лично,
with him one-on-one,
по-мужски.
like a man.
глупости
Nonsense.
какие.
Polina brushed off some hair from her forehead, and I sensed a weak aroma of blackberry. Polina was like water when you were thirsty. You gulp it down and you still wanted more. I remembered the summer evenings at the country house, the fire's pungent smoke, the berries hanging over our fence from the neighbors, and a soft cover of pine needles under my shoes. Those few peaceful days when I felt completely safe. My mom resting in the hammock, my dad putting meat on a skewer. Could I have seen the upcoming catastrophes and our parents' laughs and the smell of the fleeting July? Could I have seen how fragile the world was?
Думаешь, этот
You
дикарь
really
будет
think
честно
that
драться?
Savage will give you a fair fight?
Со своими дружками набросятся всем скопом,
He'll just
опомниться
swarm
даже
you
не
with his
дадут.
friends without giving you a chance to catch a breath. Polina suddenly flashed a devious smile.
Но если мы
But
пойдем
if we go
вместе,
together,
это их
they will be
ошарашит.
put off.
Я же не только
I'm
первая
not-
скрипка на деревне.
I'm
Я
not
ведь
the
еще и
only-
девочка.
I'm not only the first violin of this village, I'm also a girl.
Слышала от знакомого
I've
хулигана,
heard
что
from
он
a
никогда
delinquent,
не
I know that
нападает на
he'll never
кого-то в
attack someone
присутствии
when there's a
девушки.
girl around.
Представляешь,
Can you
у них
imagine?
кодекс чести такой.
They have this weird code of honor. A delinquent, you know? I thought worried. Is he better than me? Taller? More handsome?
Ой, мне на музыку пора.
I have to go to music class. She made a couple of steps and stopped. Amazing, Polina didn't look like those beauties from the magazine posters or actresses from the movies. In the flickering light of the ceiling lamp, she looked much more alluring.
А ты играешь на чем-нибудь?
Can you play anything? My parents bought me a guitar a couple of years ago. I immediately remembered my meager attempts at making music. Change. We're all waiting for change. Soy's song echoed my thoughts and my desire to change something. That guitar got lost somewhere, as if refusing to move to the old house near the forest. I think my parents gave it away to someone that needed it more.
Увы, не играю.
I don't, sadly.
Жалко.
Pity.
Ну ладно, я
Oh
побежала.
well, I'll be going.
Пока!
Is there anyone watching this? Says there's one, but again, that might be me. If there's anyone here, can you put in the chat so I know if I'm talking to myself? Her shout was captured by the loud echo. Her shoes echoed through the hallways.
Пока!
Dying. I wasn't sure if Polina heard me. I looked out the window again. The schoolyard was empty, just a couple of grade schoolers throwing snowballs at each other. Nobody who looked like the hulking Simon with his cronies. This was giving me hope. What should I do? Polina could become my friend, the first one in this new place. And besides, she may be in real danger of meeting a killer, and I'll be her defender, her knight. And even though my inner voice was hesitant and whispered about running away from the killers lurking in the woods at night, Polina was worth the risk. But the red cunning fox is also intriguing. She promised to help me look for Vova, and this will bring me a reward. More money will almost guarantee peace in my family. Gifts for Olya. I imagine my sister happy like those girls who get prizes from Suplanev in the finest hour. Soviet Russian TV host in the night. Okay. She'll be dancing with the famous singers. Maybe a new popular boys band. Like, I'm not gonna attempt that. I'm sorry. Mom and Dad hugging in the Ostenkino Pavilion. And then all of us going to Disneyland. Polina, Alyssa. Creepy. Nah, I'm not gonna go towards the furry. I've made enough bad choices already. What's this? An abandoned zinc bucket with a rag on the bottom filled to the brim with murky tap water. It reeked of salty chemicals and stank so intense that I felt sick. I staggered away from it, praying that I don't meet the same fate as the person on cleaning duty. Interesting. Anything else? Yeah, I'm gonna say for Polina. Snow danced in the air outside, following the rhythm of the music that was flowing from around the corner. I jumped off the windowsill and started walking along the hallway, curiosity eating away at me. The half hour I'd spent here waiting crawled at a snail's pace. I wanted to see Polina again. Bro, that is not the same picture I was just looking at. My taste in music was limited to Litov, Shevchuk, the timeless classic and pop songs I saw on TV, along with music videos that would sometimes be put on tapes as teasers before a movie. But this violin melody captivated me. It felt like a master woodcutter working with delicate wood, a fragile crystal toy with a gust of warm wind. I pressed my cheek against the doorway. Polina was hiding from me in the far end of the classroom, but a shadow that fell on the wall definitely belonged to a girl with a violin. The movements of her bow were so graceful that I felt like I was getting carried away in the waves of music. My heart broke the barrier of my ribcage and started hopping around. Faster and faster, I jumped on snow piles, gliding between the pines towards the fiery sun above the windfall. Was she the one that was playing music for the wolves or whatever the fuck it was outside?
Заскучал?
Got tired of waiting? I was so deep in thought that I didn't hear the approaching footsteps. After bathing in music, Polina felt even more magical.
Да нет.
No, not
Я
really.
о
I was
комиксе
thinking
своем
about my
думал.
comic. For some unknown reason, I lied.
Ты комиксы рисуешь?
You draw comics?
Да, ну, то есть,
Yeah,
Планирую
I
рисовать.
want to draw one.
Ага. И про что твой
What
комикс?
will it be about? Sorry again. This one isn't as interesting yet. About the most charming and kind girl that plays violin who somehow happened to be in this house of
про
horror.
лесу.
About a fox.
Ой, точнее, про говорящих животных,
I mean
что
about
живут в
talking
лесу и
animals who
помогают
help children
заблудившимся
who get
детям
lost.
вернуться домой.
To return home from the woods.
А потом они
And then
пляшут в
they
ночи.
dance in the night.
Ого! Как интересно.
Sounds interesting.
Сам придумал?
Did you come up with it yourself?
Вдохновился.
I got
глядя в
inspiration from
окно.
looking out the window. That was a date? Okay. We descended to the first floor. I opened the door in front of Polina. Dad told me how essential it is to be a gentleman.
Значит, творческая
So you're an
личность.
artist, huh?
Я догадывалась,
I
что
had a
ты не
hunch you
такой,
were
как все.
different,
Особенный.
special.
Шутишь?
Are you
Я?
joking? Me?
Я самый
I'm
обыкновенный.
absolutely average.
Это Семен
Simon
обыкновенный.
is the average one.
В смысле,
An
обычный
average
придурок.
idiot.
А в тебе живет нечто доброе и пушистое.
And you carry something kind of fluffy inside. Kind and fluffy. Something barked near my leg when we were crossing the schoolyard, interrupting Polina.
Не бойся, это Жулька.
Don't worry, it's just Zulka. I stood on one knee and rubbed the barking dog behind the ear. It was frantically wagging its tail like some sort of propeller. I looked around the yard trying to find Alyssa. Again, is she the same person as Alyssa? I don't think so. But the fox girl was nowhere to be found in the yard nor on the road.
Брось ее!
Leave it be.
Ты что, она же
It's a
дикая!
stray, you know.
Клещей еще
What if it has
подцепишь.
past?
Нет, у нее хозяйка есть.
No, this one has an
Вроде.
owner, I think. Polina looked at the playful dog with disgust, covering her mouth with a handkerchief.
А у тебя
What the
никакой
fuck is
еды
wrong
не
with you?
завалялось?
I don't understand why these people are so like, it's a stray, shoot it, disgusting. Like, just doesn't have a home. Damn. Do you have any food on you?
Кажется, что-то
I think I have
осталось.
something left.
Покормим и пойдем,
We'll feed
ладно?
it and go, alright? She took a sandwich out of her hip bag and threw it to Zulka. Little dog brushed to her banquet. Swept away the bread with her nose and started eating the bologna.
Какая привереда.
What a picky
Ешь
eater.
все, давай.
Come on, eat everything. Polina tugged my sleeve, egging me on.
Ты чего?
Hey, what's wrong? I'm scared. The violin girl literally dragged me out of the school gate, stifling laughs into a fist. Oh no. I turned around. Zulka followed us with side eyes as we were leaving. The dog looked especially lonely with the school as the backdrop. And then Polina just stopped laughing. She walked alongside me with a blank stare, completely silent.
Нечего паразитов плодить.
Don't spread pests. Her remark turned out pretty harsh. Was it really the stray's fault if she had to live on the street?
Они потом на
Exactly.
людей кидаются.
They always attack people later.
Прошлой зимой такая
A
стая
pack of
чуть
these almost
дедушку не
killed my grandpa
загрызла.
last winter.
Какой кошмар.
That's horrible.
Ему с тех пор не здоровится.
Is he still not feeling
Его
well? He's
паралич он
paralyzed
больше
now. He'll
никогда не
never be
сможет.
able to walk again. I remember the scary pack of dogs that was chasing me just a while ago.
Мне очень жаль.
I'm sorry.
Ничего.
It's okay. Polina showed me another enchanting smile, her eyes half closed.
Главное, что мы друг друга
What matters
поняли.
is that we understand each other now. I forgot about Zulka after she said that. Some third graders were throwing snowballs at each other and singing. Now, oh yeah, an image of my sister sitting near the window, bored, looking for me in the twilight, flashed before my eyes. I promised myself that I will go home as soon as I escort Polina.
А что это за песенку малые поют?
What's the song that the kids
Уже
are
второй
singing?
раз за день ее
It's the
слышу.
second time I've heard it today. Walking down the main street, somewhere near a tractor is rumbling, cleaning snowdrifts. Ravens flew across the ashen sky. A flock of blackbirds circled above us like scary crosses that ran away from graves.
Про сову?
The owl one?
Это
It's
считалочка
just a local
местная.
nursery
Мне ее в
rhyme.
детстве дедушка
Grandpa used to
напевал.
sing it to me when I was little.
Он интересуется
He's
историей
very
края.
knowledgeable
Много знает про наш
about local
фольклор.
history and folklore.
И что там за считалочка такая?
And what does the rhyme sound like?
Слушай.
Listen. She started walking backwards, facing me and
Раз,
smiling.
два. Прилети, сова. 3, 4, 5. Время поиграть. 6, да 6. Дыбом волчья шерсть. 7, 8. Бьем копытом озимь. Для медведя, для лисы. Зайчик кушать принеси.
Thought I'd already met a fox this morning. Thankfully, I hadn't met any wolves or bears. As I was looking at the girl by my side, I became strangely brave, so I said something
У тебя
unexpected.
красивый голос.
You have a beautiful voice. Polina adjusted her hair, slightly embarrassed.
Спасибо.
Thanks.
И что же, это конец считалочки? Принес им заяц
Did the
покушать
bunny
или нет?
prepare those
Поди
meals?
узнай.
Who knows?
Спросить не у кого.
Nobody
Считалочка
will be
очень
able to tell
старая.
you. It's really old.
Древняя даже.
I'd say even
С ней
ancient.
легенда одна связана.
There's a legend related to it, though.
Если тебе интересно.
Want me to tell you?
Конечно.
Of
Тут
course.
в тайге раньше
All
племена
sorts of
жили
tribes
разные.
had lived in the taiga back in the day.
Дедушка говорит, у них была
Grandpa
такая
told me they had this.
инсценяция. Короче, такой ритуал, когда мальчику наступала пора становиться мужчиной.
Well, some sort of right when a boy was ready to become a man. Initiation? I listened closely. I mean, I was also really close to that age myself.
Юношу
They
отводили
would
в
lead him
лес,
into the woods where he
и он
needed to
должен
spend
был
3 days
трин,
hunting.
по легенде. Один
There's a
такой
legend about a
юноша
young
ушел
man
в
who went
тайгу
into
и
the taiga
пропал,
and never returned.
а вернулся, когда его
And
перестали
he
искать.
suddenly came back when they already stopped looking for him.
Нагрянул в
He was covered
деревню,
in scratches, dirty,
исцарапанный,
cold.
грязный.
I imagine sleeping among the pines in bare layers.
Родные выбежали
His
к
family
нему,
rushed to help him,
а
but
он
he just
упал на
fell
землю.
unconscious.
Привели шамана.
They brought a
Тот
shaman.
осмотрел молодого
He looked
охотника
at the young
и
man,
помрачнел.
and his face became
Сказал,
grim.
плохи дела.
He told them that he was in
До
bad
утра
shape. The young
юноша
man
бился в
convulsed until the
судорогах
morning,
и
repeating that
повторял
line over and over.
снова, и
Over and
раз,
over.
два,
1, 2, time
прилети,
to play with
сова,
you, as if the
будто
taiga
ему в
itself
тайге
was
нашептали.
whispering it to him.
А к рассвету он
And when the
умер.
sun came out, he died.
Только вот шаман сказал, что он и так
But
был
the shaman
мертв,
said that he was
что
already
он
dead when he
мертвым из
returned.
лесу пришел и
He came out of
мертвыми
the woods as
губами
a living
шептал
corpse and
считалочку.
whispered that rhyme with his dead lips. I froze in
Это
fear.
точно не ужастик.
Are you sure it's not some horror movie?
Фольклор бывает пострашнее всякого кино, уж поверь.
Folklore can be way scarier than movies, believe me.
Дедушка говорит, что
Grandpa
племя
said
то
that this
собралось
tribe just
спешно и
uprooted
ушло
in
на
a
юг.
hurry and left to the south.
Они были
They
смелыми,
must have been
если
brave
жили
if
здесь.
they lived here. Helena kicked one of the snow piles with her small boot.
Смелыми и глупыми.
Brave but stupid.
Неужели надо мертвецу явиться из
Did they
лесу, чтобы
need
до
a
людей
corpse to
дошло?
reappear from the forest for them to
Дошло что?
understand
Что
what?
нужно уезжать
That
отсюда.
they needed to get out of here.
Есть целый мир,
There's the big world.
а есть наш
And then
поселок.
there's our village.
Мир!
The world. She spread her arms wide.
Поселок.
The village. She showed a distance that was almost invisible between her two fingers.
Я часто представляю
imagine
большие,
big
могу
cities.
часами рассматривать
look at the globe
глобус
for
или
hours.
журналы вокруг света из
Or
библиотеки.
around the world magazines from the library. I'm sorry.
Какие же там
They have such
прекрасные
pretty names,
названия.
just listen.
Только Рейкьявик,
I don't know how to say that.
Тель-Авив.
Libby.
Это же чистейшая музыка, а не слова.
Music to my ears. She started circling, her eyes shut dreamingly. The forest towered before us, touching the low clouds. So I wonder if this game is kind of going to make us choose between Polina and Alyssa. I think that was the name we gave the fox girl. And then one will be him kind of living a more normal life, escaping the village and the forest and whatever is kind of drawing him in. And then if he goes with Alyssa, that's him kind of delving deeper into the horror and madness. Because he was already starting to, like, want to go back into the woods to see what was in there when he didn't want to go into the classroom. Like, he would rather be in the woods despite being terrified of it recently.
Я бы могла покорить
I
сцену,
could have conquered the stage,
выступать перед
performing in
тысячами
front of
зрителей.
А я
thousands,
сцены ужасно боюсь.
and I have stage fright.
Так ты другим возьмешь.
Oh, you'll get famous
Живописью.
another way, by
У нас-то
drawing.
есть
We
будущее.
both have a
А что
future,
ждет
but
того
what's
же
it-
Семена?
But what about, say, Simon? I really can't read.
Ну, станет он еще толще.
He may just get fatter.
Ну,
And
Будет пирожками
he'll be
торговать.
selling pierogi?
ага.
Yeah, made from dogs. We burst out laughing, exercising worry from our minds with lighthearted
Если
fun.
ему, конечно, доверят пирожки.
If somebody will even trust him with selling
Наверное,
them.
ты права.
Oh, you're
Он их в
right.
один
He
присест
can probably
слопает.
eat a whole lot of them in one
Я
go.
так и думала, что вдвоем в
Like
лесу
I
не
thought, the
страшно.
forest is less scarier when you're not alone. I looked around. Why do we have to do this? The snow was sparkling, reflecting the last rays of the setting sun. My pulse fastened from the thought that we were
Да,
alone.
ты была права.
Yes, you're right. Oh, there's someone back there. Helena rushed through the fire break.
Не отставай!
Don't fall
Никогда в
behind.
жизни.
I'll never fall behind.
Ты знаешь, ты так
You know, the way
изъясняешь,
you
как
speak,
персонаж
just
с
like a hero
приключенческой
from
книжки.
adventure books. Was she complimenting or mocking me? I didn't want to look for the hidden meaning. Not when we were on such a
Ну да,
wonderful
я
walk.
люблю
I
книги.
mean, I
Ого,
like books.
читающий мужчина.
Oh, a well-read man.
Звучит интригующе.
Intriguing. A man? Really? I got embarrassed and my cheeks turned beet red, but I still thanked fate for being able to wander around the forest with Polina like this. The girl suddenly stopped and stared into the darkening thicket without making a sound, as if waiting for something. I felt uneasy all of a sudden. And then she asked me in a cold voice,
Ты был там?
have you been there?
Где? В чаще?
Where? Deep in the woods? Polina burst out laughing again, shattering my anxious thoughts.
Да нет,
No,
в большом
silly. In the
мире,
big world.
в городах с
In
музыкальными
cities with
названиями.
musical names.
А разве Москва музыкальное
Does Mas-
название?
Does Moscow sound musical to
Больше
you?
похоже на кваканье лягушки.
To me, it sounds like the croaking of a frog. Polina froze and looked at me in
Ты
disbelief.
был
You've
в
been to
Москве?
Ну
Moscow?
да,
Yeah,
в детстве.
when I was little. Polina's eyes started
И
sparkling.
какая она?
What's it like?
Ну,
Well, it's beautiful. My bad.
шумная,
Noisy.
неоновая.
Neon lights everywhere.
Неоновая.
Neon lights. It felt like she was savoring these words.
А на Красной
Have you ever
площади
been to the
был?
Red
Конечно.
Square? Of course.
Она такая
It's
выпуклая.
so bumpy.
И в ЦУМе был, и на
I've
ВДНХ.
been to there and there too.
Мне больше всего метро понравилось.
I love the metro the
Там
most.
так
It
пахнет.
smelled
Как?
like what? She ran up to me, grabbed me by the sleeve, and stared into my eyes with clear interest.
Не могу описать.
can't-
А нарисовать?
And can you draw it?
Что, запах?
What, a smell?
Великие музыканты
Great
могут
musicians can
сыграть
play
запах.
smells.
Не может быть.
You're lying.
Я дам тебе кассеты.
I'll give you the cassettes later. She started twirling in the falling snow again.
Я обязательно побываю в
definitely go to
Москве. А
Moscow.
главное в Вене.
But first to Vienna.
Вена моя
It's my
мечта.
dream.
Это же столица
capital of
музыки.
music.
Моцарт, Бетховен, Штраус. Филармонический оркестр. Государственная опера. Я буду выступать, а ты
I'll be performing
рисовать.
in your drawing. I figured you guys could either hear what she was saying or read it. Her enthusiasm spread to me. I wanted to do something bright
А ты
this
куда
moment.
хочешь попасть?
And where do you want to go? I sighed.
В
and
Диснейленд.
confessed. To Disneyland. I remembered the Finest Hour show again. Olia preferred Call of the Jungle, but I always spent my Mondays in front of the TV. Colorful tables with numbers on signs and a charming Mr. Supanov at the wheel. And the prizes: chocolate eggs, video equipment, and the most exciting one, a trip to Disneyland for the winner. My parents promised to take me there to the land of the mouse, and I believed them at first. Well, maybe they also believed it back then. Now they just reply with silence every time I ask about it, and it saddens me to no end. I have just 3 words on my mind in those moments. But you promised. Polina had seemingly read my mind.
Добраться туда проще, чем нам кажется.
Getting there is easier than we think.
Каждый лепит свою
Everybody
судьбу,
has the
как
power to
хочет.
mold their fate. She picked up 2 handfuls of snow, and then, as if she forgot about everything, showed me a slice
А
of
давай
snow.
снеговика
Want to
лепить.
make a snowman?
Давай.
Sure. When I get back home, I'll make a snowman for Olia too. She'll be so happy. But for now... Okay, cute. We were almost done with the first ball, rolling it shoulder to shoulder. Polina was laughing. Locks of her hair fell in her lively face. She was so cute when she blew them away.
Чего у тебя такой маленький
Why is your
шар,
ball so
Антон?
small, Anton?
Максимум голова
It'll
снеговичка.
only work
Больше
as a head.
надо.
Make it
Не
bigger.
ленись.
Don't be lazy. I couldn't remember the last time I had so much fun. Polina swept her now crimson
Ты
lips.
мечтал когда-нибудь
Did you ever wish
очутиться?
to go to another planet? Something flashed in her eyes when she said that. I couldn't really put my finger on what it was.
И даже в другой
To
вселенной.
another universe, even. Polina sighed in what felt like
Тогда ты
relief.
понимаешь
And you
меня.
should understand me. Her palms glided across the ball of snow, straightening any bumps it had. An almost ideal white ball rose up in the middle of the clearing. Then another one popped up. We lifted it from 2 sides and placed it on the one that served as the foundation. Finally, Polina helped me get the third ball on top of the other
Ставить
two.
голову на место
Putting the head in the
мой
right place
конек.
is what I do
У
best.
тебя морковка
You
случайно
by
не
any chance
завалялась?
have a
Увы.
carrot? Alas. Ah, shit. There was no fear, no worry at this clearing. I became more daring, ran towards the thicket to crack a couple of branches. Ah, fuck, oh fuck. Is she gonna ditch me or something? I pulled at the intertwining windfalls, but Polina's voice suddenly awakened me from my
Антон!
delusion.
Там
Anton.
кто-то есть.
Someone is standing there. Oh, fuck. I turned around, puzzled. Polina was looking at me. No, something behind my back. Oh, here we go. Fingers in front of the eyes. She stared at it, her brows furrowed. Not a single trace was left of the cheerful atmosphere we had a moment ago. Polina? She slowly raised her hand and pointed at the darkness that was approaching the trees in the distance.
Впереди кто-то
Someone is
стоит.
standing there,
Темная сгорбленная
crooked
фигура.
silhouette
И
seat,
ручищами сосну
rubbing the
гладит.
pine with their huge hands. When I turned around, directing my eyes to what she was pointing to. Don't think I see anything. Then again, I'm sure as soon as I click, like something's gonna zoom across my screen or jump scare me. The area around the dry raspberry bush was empty.
Там никого нет.
There's nothing
Оно
there.
спряталось
It hid
за деревом.
behind the tree. The collar of my coat felt suffocating. I pulled on it instinctively. I felt a spasm in my stomach. I smiled weakly and asked, hoping for a good
Это
answer.
что,
Is this a
шутка?
prank? Polina seemingly lost all her words. She just continued staring deep into the endless forest. Bravery check, I thought, so I stepped towards the glossy black trunk, Polina's gaze pushing me to the back. I swear, men will do anything for pussy. I was trying to muster all the courage, but my inner voice was telling me to stop, to curl into a ball, to play dead even. Anything but to go there, into the writhing darkness. Twilight was sucking me in, limiting my vision. The clearing was a deep well, and its walls prohibiting the sunlight from reaching its bottom. I heard the air ring. Or was it ringing in my ears? Oh no, oh no, oh no. Is it gonna be the bully? I'd rather just get the shit beaten out of me now. 1 step, 2 step. I bit my lip to stop myself from screaming if anything happened. There is no one behind the pine. I sighed. I turned back to Polina, and she's gone.
Полина, здесь никого.
Polina, there's no one.
Ну, здорово, Антошка.
Of course. Did she lure me out here? Antoshka. From the darkness behind the pine, just like a caveman from the cave, appeared smirking Simon with a bunch of his cronies.
Опачки, какая
And who do we
встреча!
have here?
Очкарик в жопе шарик на.
Check out Four-Eyed Freak. Polina let out a shriek when the bastard shoved her away from me. They surrounded me like a carnivorous pride, making me step back. Okay. Ow. Simon's heavy leg blasted through the snowman's belly. The balls we rolled crumbled, became a mushy mess with just a single broken branch sticking out. Polina gasped angrily. I also felt the touch of scalding hatred. Jesus. Sorry, had to take a drink. The smell of sweat and tobacco. God. The smell of sweat and tobacco attacked my nostrils. The inside of my mouth felt salty, as if I'd licked a batter.
Полин, не бойся.
Polina, don't be scared. I shuddered after hearing my own voice. It sounded unnatural, rough, and scary.
Полинка, ты чё
Why would
бояться?
you be scared?
Лучше за
Worry about
себя.
yourself. The fatso spit through the gap in his teeth and pushed me so hard that I hit my back against a tree.
Ну как?
Well,
Страшно,
missed your
мудила.
pants, sucker? I heard Polina's angry voice from behind.
Не трогайте его!
Stay away from him. It would have been better if Polina wasn't around. I wish she wouldn't have to see me in such a shameful position.
Глядите-ка,
Look
пацаны!
at this, guys.
Девчонка
A
за
girl's
него
defending
заступает.
him.
Ага, циклона.
Yeah, what a fucking wimp.
Ты, сука
Is
приезжая,
that a plum
не на
bob?
того
You like The
руку
Sims?
поднял.
Only good thing about this character. You fucked with the wrong guy, transfer student. Simon was moving towards me, readying his fist. In that moment, another delinquent in track pants made a loud whistle, and the hulking boy lowered his hand. It was unexpected. Seems like Baburin wasn't the leader of this gang. In reality, they were all listening to the boy who was looking like a small carnivore with very strong and sharp teeth. They decided against hitting me. They probably wanted to humiliate me first in front of the girl. Damn it.
Слышь, Гондон Батькович,
Okay, not saying that.
а это кто?
And
И
who's
еще
that?
одна
Another one of
подружка.
your girlfriends?
Да у тебя тут
Yeah, the
гарем, на.
fucking harem. Only then I noticed Zilka beside my legs, trembling from the cold snow plastered all over her fur. It probably ran all the way from the schoolyard, searching for our smell. The delinquent squatted in front of the dog and beckoned it with its hand. If you hurt the fucking dog, I swear to God.
Ой ты, бать,
Oh
ко
my.
мне,
Come here,
сучка
you
блохастая.
flea-footed bitch. The others let out nasty laughs. The dog's ears perked up and she started carefully moving closer.
Иди сюда.
Yeah, come here. I've got
Иди,
something for
иди.
you. Oh, why? The dog didn't even have a chance to sniff him when this animal abuser caught it by the ear and kicked it right under the tail so hard that it flew to the nearest snow pile, squealing. The whole gang burst out laughing and my heart got encrusted in ice. Even the birds that were perched on the tree let out frightened caws. Then I noticed something strange. Polina could hardly keep herself from smiling. Does she really hate dogs so much that this skinny guy did amused her? After locking eyes with me, she changed her jubilant smirk to a thoughtful grimace. Why isn't she running away? I thought in horror. This bitch. Okay, I no longer like Polina. At the edge of my vision, I saw something flash in the illusory twilight of the sleeping forest. Or were that just bushes moving their icy branches in the wind?
Робка, она ж больше срать не сможет.
It won't be.
Давай теперь я.
Let me kick the fucking thing.
Второй раз
Too negative to
ебану.
make it positive. But the stray was already nowhere to be seen.
Чего ты?
What,
Толкуй
are you
его
an
на
idiot?
очкарику, где его
Go and show the
место.
Four Eyes his
Только
place.
так, чтобы он понял.
In a way he'll understand.
Ага, за ним
Yeah,
кофяк
fuck
на.
it,
Этот
I'll see.
очкарик тебе
This
при
one's
всем
wacky
классе
in front of the
всек.
whole class.
Да без Б.
Sure thing. Simon brought a sizable signet ring with some geometric shape carved into
Ща, парашник,
I'll
я
hit
тебе
your
этой печаткой так
face so
заряжу.
hard
Клеймо
you'll
на
never
всю
mark the
жизнь.
rest of your life. Where did all my inner strength and bravery go?
Стой!
Stop, a woozy whisper left my lips and my head tilted forward, hitting Simon's fist. Red sparks flew from my eyes. They're going to gang up on me and beat me up.
Рома! Пусть они прекратят!
Прости, но пацанам надо по-мужски
Sorry, but
побазарить.
the boys need to sort this out man to
А
man.
тебе в сторонке постоять.
And you just stand aside and watch.
Бяша, подсоби!
Biasha, give me a hand. Simon gave me a rough push towards the bastard with the slanting eyes and he tripped me. That's supposed to be racist. I fell on the sharp crust of ice and the fatso stepped on my hand, preventing me from getting up. A painful groan escaped my
Слыхали,
throat.
как...
Did you hear
А
him
ты
whisper?
случаем не
Is
педик?
he actually a blank or something? I started to lose breath from anger and resentment. The pain was growing. My ear was hot and pulsating with pain and shooting through it. And
Че молчишь, Антошка?
why so silent?
Отвечай, ты
Come
педик?
on, tell us. At this moment, I felt pure, unbridled rage, the amalgamation of my anger. Like the sprouts ink, it rose up from the depths of my mind, filling up all my thoughts.
Твари!
Morons.
Знаете,
Did you know that
Вот
my
это
dad
педик!
is also? Simon burst out laughing. This became the last straw. Fear and anger were grappling inside me like mad
он
dogs.
айкидо занимался. Поняли?
He knows a Kaido got it,
Он еще воевал!
and he's a vet.
Таких, как вы, с
He'll kill
закрытыми
the likes of you
глазами
with his
убивал!
eyes
Я только
closed.
слово
One
скажу!
word from me and he'll... Rumka lifted his arm, stopping my torrent of lies, and took a couple of steps forward. Simon slowly backed off, giving me an opportunity to stand up. Pines were swaying back and forth like solemn guardians. Did he believe me? Or was he confused by my face, twisted with rage?
Воевал, говоришь?
A vet, you say.
Мой батя тоже
My dad
воевал.
also fought in the war.
В Афгане.
In Afghan.
А твой?
And yours?
И мой.
Mine too.
Да, и в
Oh,
каких
really?
войсках,
And what
интересно?
force did he serve in? I stumbled. Fear chomped at my rage's throat and made it bleed.
Да он
He's
фуфло
full of
гонит,
shit,
Ромка. Бля, будуна.
Sure as fuck.
Думал, меня так просто развести?
Did you think I'm so easy to trick?
Я тебя,
I can see through
сучонка,
your eyes,
насквозь
little bitch.
вижу.
There was a nasty smile on his face now. This didn't bode well
Ты
for me.
сам себе
Well,
приговор
you've
под...
asked for this.
В школе тебя
A
училка
teacher
спасла.
saved us
Ну а
over
теперь
here.
хана
You're
тебе.
fucked.
Во-во.
That's right.
Давай, Антошка.
Pray that they
Молись,
find
чтобы
your
твой
dead
труп
body
по
come
весне...
spring.
Сидел бы ниже травы, был бы целочкой.
If only you stayed silent, wouldn't have lost a hair.
Жирного стукнул,
Getting
одно
fatso
дело.
is one
Но
thing,
про Афган пиздеть, где мой батя под
but
пулями.
fucking around with stuff like
Долг
Afghan, where my
интернациональный.
dad spent time under
В
fire
Даште
on
Марго, блядь.
international duty on fucking Dash de Margot.
Сёма, ушатай-ка
Give
его.
him a good pounding. The delinquents closed in on me again, and I ended up in front of Simon. Blood was pumping in my temples.
Ну, Ромочка, ну хватит.
Roma, please
Ты уже
stop
всё
them. You've
доказал.
proved your point.
Дай нам
Let us
уйти.
go.
Ты иди, иди.
You can go at any time.
А мы пока
and we'll
мусор
take out the
приберем.
trash in the meantime. What bugged me at this moment wasn't even the humiliating attitude from Ramka, but rather how sweet Polina had addressed him. The delinquents were pushing the girl towards the pines. Branches were swaying back and forth as if whispering something, giving me hope. I gritted my teeth, fighting the thought that I looked silly, and took a boxing stance when I saw them.
Хера
Like I
ты,
saw
Майк
movies.
Тайсон.
What are you, fucking Mike Tyson? This is my first ever fight. I'll remember it for the rest of my life, if I don't kick the bucket, of course. At the edge of my vision, I noticed the darkness rise again, as if someone was walking back and forth there. I sensed from Roma's claws grab my backpack.
Манатки, Антошка.
Give me your shit.
Махаться
It'll
мешает.
get in the way. I was about to refuse, unwilling to cooperate with this bastard, but then he fished out a butterfly knife out of his pocket with one smooth motion, spun it as if showing it off, and then put the blade to my neck.
Слышь, Фрей,
Easy,
расслабься, а то
buddy. I
больно
can make
будет.
it painful. It let out a cloud of steam instead of words. Rumka pulled with all of his might, and my backpack ended up in his hands. Polina shrieked. Rumka winked at her as if saying, "Don't worry, I've got this." Calm and relaxed. An insidious smile on his face, he looked into my
Ты
backpack.
от нас
Are
что-то
you hiding
скрываешь?
something from us?
У
Some
меня в
rats
школе
stole my
какая-то...
school
Ща,
shoes. Let
погляди.
me see if it was.
Опа!
And what's this? He was holding my backpack in one hand and something weird in the other. It looked like a mask. Roma lifted it high as if showing it to someone else, to someone in the treetops, in the twilight among the trees. An old bunny mask. Long, worn-out ears, barely visible, nose and whiskers, mangy fur on the sides. Where did it come from? Who put it there?
Новый год уже прошел,
It's way
мудила.
past New Year's, moron. A rabbit for New Year's? Maybe it's a Russian thing.
Или ты реально
Or are you
поехавший?
really a loony?
Это не мое.
It's not
Да
mine.
как не твое,
How come it's not?
В твоем портфеле
It was in
лежало
your
на...
backpack. Rumko was watching the scene unfold with an evil smile on his face.
Дикари!
Savages, is
Масок
this
раньше
the
не
first time you
видели.
see a mask?
Таких конченых не
If she used
видели.
this, yeah.
А знаешь что?
You know what?
Надевай.
Put it on.
Зачем?
Why?
Надевай,
'Cause
говорю.
I'm telling you
Попрыгаешь
to.
перед нами.
You'll hop for a bunny.
Давай,
Or you'll hop
давай!
You'll hop for us like a bunny. Yeah, come on.
Или без штанов
Or
домой
you
пойдет на...
Pantless. Now when Polina's here,
Не надену.
I won't.
Сёма, надень-ка на
Put
него.
it on him. Then he passed to Simon, who was already rubbing his hands in anticipation. I looked around the pine woods, as if waiting for help, as if the shadows that writhed around us would take pity on me and take my side. Branches looked like arms, twisted at unusual angles. Blackened bark was their charred skin, and the darkness was the smoke they produced. I can't run. Won't get away. They'll catch me. And then... No, I won't run. I won't abandon Polina.
Только учти, Сёма,
Let me warn you.
если он скакать
If
не
he won't
станет,
hop,
ты сам за
you'll
него
take his place.
поскачешь.
Got it?
Этот чмошника не станет?
This piece of shit won't.
Да поглядя на
Look at
него,
him.
он
He's
же
a total
дур.
loony.
Этот дурик тебе
This
уже
loony
раз
already
в
smacked
жбан
you in the
зарядил.
face.
Ромка прав. Давай, толстый.
That's
Восстанавливай
what I'm
авто.
talking about.
Или сам у нас запрыгаешь так, что тетяндра
Or we'll make you
отцепится.
hop so hard your pig tits will fall off. He must indeed be scared of Romka. Simon swore silently and glared at me at first, then Polina.
Вот,
Here.
это чтобы маска
It'll fit
хорошо
better this way. I hurled a huge spitball on the inside of the plastic bunny mask and put it close to mine. His spit looked like a squished spider. Romka's face twisted. He spasmed like a beast, like he wanted to tell Simon something, but then he suddenly stopped. Is he connected to the mask somehow? Polina covered her face with her hands in terror. Simon was so close by, a disgusted smirk on his face and a terrible smell coming from his mouth.
Надевай,
Put it
бара!
on
А
fast,
то...
or you're dead. The mask almost looked more disgusting now, yet despite everything, I felt like it was a chance for salvation. It could become my second skin, if only I was to put it on, if only my face was to touch its bumpy surface. I'm sure the fur will glitter, the tears will tremble like they're alive. I just need to put it on, and Simon and his friends will be gone, forever. Guess I'll put it on. Simon handed me the mask and let out an evil laugh. The fur was warm to the touch like I expected. I got goosebumps. Electricity flowed through my spine.
Вот оно,
This is
мое
it, my
спасение.
salvation. Just put it on and no one will hurt you. The forest froze, gazing back at me with cracks in the bark. I acted slowly. I took off my glasses. Got rid of the nasty spit on the paper mache. There was movement inside the bunny face, as if something was trying to break out, and I needed to help it. Lifted up the mask and started to pull it towards my flaming cheeks. Just like that movie with Jim Carrey. The mask had power, the mask had strength. Okay. Carton touched my skin. It enveloped my skull and my nose. Took the shape of my face. It smelled like an animal lair and pine. My lips touched some sort of hard, wavy material. My armor. Strangely enough, through the slits of the old carnival mask, I was able to see as good as through my glasses. A trio of boys frozen in the clearing. Snowflakes frozen in the air. The trees whose shadows formed black streams around me. And a weird silhouette in the early twilight behind the windfall. Weird, I don't see anything. In all that silence, Simon nervously whispered, "Hey guys,
what's on
what's
that?"
up with him?" I broadened my shoulders. My muscles felt like they were made of steel. Invisible plumes of fog flew towards me, breaking off the trees. I was absorbing the forest power with every pore of my body. I smiled underneath the mask. No, I showed my teeth. My fists were itching. My stomach was growling.
Он
He's
превращает.
turning. You asked for this. I made a step forward. Simon carefully stepped towards me as if he was walking on thin ice. A trail from my dreams snaked in front of me again. Endless, alluring. It was beckoning me away from all the problems into the new, wonderful world. The world of Magic Neverland. I pulled on the zipper, opened my coat, and threw it to the ground in a fascinating ground. I felt like something was frantically looking for the exit underneath my skin. I went towards Simon.
Он превращается.
He's turning.
Твою мать!
Up,
Превращается.
turning.
Конченого мудака!
The clearing blew up in hysterical laughter. He was touching his stomach, almost shaking his head. I don't like it. And Simon, who was laughing the most out of the three, spat on his knuckles and waved his fist at his butt.
Ну
Like
и
such a moron.
дебил.
A fist collided with my mask. The fur didn't dampen the blow at all. There was no power, no magic smoke coming from the pines. I flew towards the bushes and landed on my butt. To my horror, Polina, pale in the face, stood behind the back of the jeering trio. She looked at me with a mix of surprise and bewilderment, and maybe even disappointment. What else did I expect? That I will turn into a superhero and save her after putting on a piece of old carton on my stupid face? My vision, bolstered by adrenaline a moment before, returned to normal. Polina's nervous face became blurry again.
Вот это был номер.
Now that was
Думал,
something.
он на четвереньки встанет и
I thought he'd get
сгрызет
on
нас
all fours
всех,
and tear us
как
to bits
морковь.
like a
Ха!
carrot.
Не,
Did
ну
you
вы
see that?
видели?
Did you?
Это считается,
Does
что
count
он
as him
поп...
hopping?
Это даже лучше.
That was even better. I sobbed. The mask had one advantage. If I cried, nobody would see
Ну
my
и
tears.
дурик.
What a
Да
loony.
тебя в
You belong in a
психбольницу.
loony house
Психбольниц.
for animals. Simon put his knee into the snow pile and ripped the glasses out of my numb
Верни ему!
Give it back.
Верни,
Give it
гад!
back, you
Отдай
idiot.
очки.
Give my glasses
Я
back.
домой не дойду.
There's something there. I won't make it
Чё
home.
ж, знаешь,
Bullshit.
какой у зайцев
Haven't you
нюх?
heard bunnies have a
По
good sense of
запаху
smell, so
добер...
don't worry, just
Прыг-скок!
Hippity hop,
Прыг-скок!
hippity hop. Simon shoved the trophy into his pocket and flashed.
Кролики
Besides,
очки не...
bunnies
А
don't wear
теперь
glasses.
вали
No
отсюда.
scram. I stood up, still wobbly. The trees became blurry and dark wall. A blurry dark wall. 4 bright silhouettes were wobbling around me. There were black spots on them, their eye sockets and mouths, but it looked to me like there were more of them than
Полина!
Polina. I felt around aimlessly. One of the figures was about to rush towards me, but was stopped by
Ты не
another.
переживай,
Don't
ушастый.
worry, big
Мы
ears.
Полину
We'll
сами
sort
проводим.
Polina ourselves.
В
She'll be
оби-
safe
А
in
то
our
тут
hands.
психов по лесу
You know,
шляется,
there are a
мама
lot
не
of
горюй.
shady
Да,
stuff
Полин?
around here and all, right, Polina? She didn't reply, just stepped back towards the bushes. I was overflowing with despair. I turned to the forest. Simon's boot came to my rescue, kicking me in the butt and quickening my shameful retreat.
Прыг-скок, прыг-скок!
Hippity hop, hippity hop. I threw the mask into a ravine out of spite. Then I zigzagged through the fire break, alone in a giant snow-laden world. The trunks around me bent in all directions, their treetops disappeared into darkness above me. The sky was pushing me down. I wanted to cry, but my eyes were completely dry by now. Only sadness and longing were left, a desire to bury myself under the snow or leave for the Neverland, joining Vova and Thenia. I didn't care where to go, just somewhere far away from here, somewhere very far away. Alright, and I know this was probably a little shorter than the other day, but this is where I'm going to leave it today. Nothing too scary happened in this part of the playthrough, which I'm not totally mad at because I did not feel like getting jump scared every 3 seconds. But thank you so much for watching again. I hope you were still enjoying the story, and let me know what you think if you want to leave comments under this. I don't know when I'll stream again next, but streaming's probably going to be something I do more in my free time in between getting actual content out to you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!